We have Monday's footage to go over, and if my memory serves me, it was a pretty packed session with lots of good footage, lots of good rolls. So let's dive right in. Right off the bat, we got Austin and Caleb, and Steven and Duncan, I think. And then Camden and I. Camden just balls to the wall right off the bat. I was thinking when I was rolling with Camden, just how much he kind of lets me work from the inside. Given our height difference, I would expect. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, bud? I would expect a bit more head pressure. Like I'd like to see him start, especially with his his recent dive into wrestling at school, controlling that close space, like putting the weight on me, like bearing over me, using his height to an advantage, instead of just letting me get comfortable up close.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about pummeling for inside position, right? Like, yeah.
Jesus, so much going on right now. Steven's working a really good. Let's slow it down. Steven's working a good. He's pretty much in like a 3/4 juji on Duncan up top there under the TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin's trying on this guillotine, but Caleb, you just gave him that mount. You had him in a good spot, Caleb, where you were, you were poking your head up. Like Austin really wants to crunch down to his right side on that, and you're heavy on the left. It looks like his right leg isn't even like well engaged. I don't know what's going on with the hand fight there. I would say if you're not comfortable, but if you're not super worried, what's up, Pat? If you're not super worried about the guillotine in that moment, when you've got when you're working on that hand fight, and you could skip over a leg. I mean, I guess ideally you'd want to go over his left leg right now, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I was thinking about going out to the right, but definitely don't want to flop over like that.
The guillotine might be threatening at that point.
Yeah, that's true. He's got his bony ass arms in there. What's up, James?
What's up, guys?
So Camden was actually doing a really good job here of misaligning the two of us to where I couldn't get the strangle. Like he plants his feet. I start switching up to my trying to work either a reverse top lock or go into the I think I was attempting to go to the arm bar or the reverse top lock and didn't quite make it over the arm. But he gets his head and shoulders to the mat. He's in a bad spot with his hand or his arm under my control with his figure four. So that's going to make it difficult for him to get that elbow in between the two of us and down to the mat. But you'll see I go to like realign us here, and his head is so planted to the mat with his weight like pushing on it that I couldn't really slip underneath. This is the time for him to like get rid of this grip, extend his arm outward, and turn hard to his right and get his elbow down to the mat. That's an escape right there. Instead, he's making this closed loop that I could just hold on to and yank him around with. Recognizing when to change your grips, when you have the opportunity to turn, all that stuff is going to be really important for escaping that back position. And then I just go to rear triangle. What's up with Caleb and Austin on that guillotine?
Caleb slipped it. He starts feeling good here. I think he's addressing the strangle.
Okay, so yeah, you said it was threatening, so rolling over relieved it.
But it was a gamble for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That makes more sense seeing it. Looks like it paid off though.
What happened with Pat and Danny?
I think they're just getting started. Or I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
I'm wrong. Oh yeah, no, they were going. Okay. So we'll go to here. Pat's in north south.
Danny gives him a bump, but Pat's not budging.
I like how much you're forcing the knees over, like you're
Yeah.
you know, pushing his knees away from you, shelving him underneath or on top of your quad there. And, oh, what did Danny get?
Oh, okay.
Was that?
No, Danny didn't get it. Pat got it. Kimura, maybe?
I couldn't even tell. Pat, what was that? Oh, wrist lock.
Ah, okay.
Dirty boy. Good job. Oh, he got it. Danny did get it.
He got it.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, damn. Okay.
Oh, I think we could see the end of it right here. He's just Danny.
Low percentage, Danny.
Danny literally has hand on the elbow here, hand bending the wrist here.
Yeah. Oh, Danny.
How's your head doing, Pat, after Caleb viciously slammed you on it? With no remorse either. Look at Camden gets up and immediately slaps hand, fist bumps when we start going, and he's just like, my turn. Then we got Cole and Daniel over here as well up by the pillar.
Yeah, I was watching that match on the sidelines there.
Heel hooks in there too. You feeling better? It's not no lingering injuries, I hope. Danny really trying to get his way in on the legs. I'm happy to see him immediately. Like this is really great. Pat gets a takedown here, and is essentially Danny's working at an open guard against a standing opponent now, not by choice, but he immediately just starts attacking Pat's base, right, digging in on the legs, disrupting him, making Pat back up, even coming down to a knee, and then he could work. I assume Danny starts to work a guard he feels comfortable with. Looks like he's trying to work on a shoulder crunch there. But he's in a pretty flattened out bottom half, so it's not going to be super effective right off the bat.
Caleb's going for an omoplata, and I think it wound up slipping.
Jeez.
So he goes for like that. Yeah, he goes for like that clamp guard, but then winds up setting up the omoplata from here. Hugs the hips, and he switches to like an armpit post. Watch this.
Look at Austin, just like he doesn't even have a head.
Yeah.
Smacks him on the ass.
Nice slice. Yeah. So then he goes to an armpit post here,
I like that.
so he can sit up, isolate the arm, and then I think Austin slips out of it.
He did. Yeah, a little overzealous there. He just limp armed right out of it. Next time you're here, Caleb, I would say rather than I don't think attacking the forearm is wrong, but you've got his arm so isolated at this point. As long as you focus on controlling his hips, which you're doing, right? Even with this far post here, this hand doesn't need to do anything but grab the wrist of the hand that you're attacking and just give him a little push, right? Like you're shifting the gears on the car. That should have been enough to tap. I mean, he's really turned up right there. So,
Gumby does it again.
I admire the ingenuity. I can't believe he got out of that.
I like what you're setting up from a guard pass here. I like that you've got the far side underhook, and I like that you're posting on your head in order to start trying that knee cut.
Yeah, and he's doing it on the near side to where
Yes.
he doesn't need to use this arm as a crossface. He's using his head
That's
as a
right.
crossface.
Yes. And the right elbow is out nice and wide. You're trying to use your left leg to start walking across. I don't know if you switch up to this later or whatever, but next time, if you don't, sit your right hip down and just baseball slide right through, right? So you'd be looking just to basically clear your right knee across the hamstring. And then with your head posted down, even if Danny tries to block your leg as you're coming through, he'd have a hell of a time trying to block that knee.
Yeah, and you could, if you're feeling steady enough, you could use this foot to help get
To pummel
that,
and
yeah,
push
get
down.
that free. Just using like a foot wedge, the top of your foot.
Yep.
Oh, hey,
There.
look at that.
Just like that. Perfect. Yeah. Great. That was textbook. That was great.
Wow, maybe we should just let the footage play sometimes.
I know, right?
Oh, you and Brooke.
Yep. She called me out.
Yeah, you definitely had to call your shots on this night. There's so many people. All right, Sean and Caleb.
Double guard pull.
Who did that? Sean and
Sean
Caleb.
and Caleb. Yeah. Watch. Boop.
Oh my goodness.
It's a nice double. But Sean was right on top. It's good.
So fast, so fast. Let me slow this down. Everybody's getting thrown right now. So you hit a little sit through.
Mm-hmm. It was that Russian tie
Yeah,
stuff.
nice.
Yep. She immediately pops up, so I opt to sit down to guard.
I just want to look at it anyway. Let's go back.
I dove right through the legs. I had so much torque on her shoulder. We were both dry. So
Yeah.
it was just very, that was a ton of torque on the shoulder.
So she gets her collar tie. You go. Oh, and I like your grip on that Russian tie too. Like you're not gripping with your wrist. You're like, you could see your hand, your near side hand to her is all the way through. It's not just like your elbow to elbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's not the easiest to take down. You had a takedown round with her last time, or later this night, right?
It wasn't a takedown round. I just took her down at will because I'm better than her. So no, she's gonna punish me for that. What I really like about this is you can, like, I think Bertram, the first time he ever showed this to me, like the Russian tie setups, he talks about forcing the hand like through the legs and getting them to roll. But if you actually take the hand to the outside, I should say like on this side of the legs, you kind of do here, like you're not underneath her legs. You're essentially putting like a really twisting them into a Kimura essentially, which the only way to relieve, well, the only two ways, it's either to tap or to roll with it, at least that I could think of, and I would immediately want to roll too. I guess what you sacrifice there is that if you do go more center line, you'll probably end up in a top position. Yeah, you'll pin her better. If you're off on the side like that, she gets to sit up because her chest isn't blocked.
Yep.
now you're on your back. Look at Brandon. Brandon's going with Steven over there. What did I get on Austin? Did I just sweep him? Foot sweep him? Or did he pull or something?
Yep. There's a foot sweep.
Natch. What's up, Austin? How you doing, bud? Just in time.
What's up? Is that Ron Jeremy?
Where? Oh, the emoji?
Yeah.
No.
Seemed good.
It'd be a lot cooler if it was, but
yeah.
So yeah, passing Austin's guard has been proving to be more and more difficult.
Did you try and calf slicer him? Like calf slice?
No,
Whatever that is?
I sometimes I just grab the leg to bait them into extending it and getting it the hell out of my way.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing there. Like there's no one's gonna tap to anything there. But when you get a nice good hold on a foot and pull on it, you know, people tend to not like that. They end up extending their leg away, and that made it a lot easier for me to here I just moved to 3/4 mount and then try to work from there. I don't even think I've passed him yet. Like it was just a pain in the ass. I may have tried a ninja roll here, I think. Oh, maybe not. Caleb and Sean, what just happened here?
I think they just got backed up on the wall.
Oh, okay. And then Steven and Brandon up top. Alright, so Brandon, let's see how you handle some guard breaking. You're up to a standing position. Steven's got a real high guard, though. So that's going to make it very difficult for you to break. I'm not sure how much I've forced Brandon to like practice standing guard breaks at this point. So I don't know if he's got good, like the makings of it at least, like the bicep ties and all that. Brandon, if you see this and have any questions about what I'm about to say, bring it up to me. But right now with Steven's high guard on you, that's not over his arm, is it? No. So he's just in a closed guard. Honestly,
very high closed guard.
Yeah, and from here, like I'd like to see you sit back down. Maybe if you can't stand up to a straight posture, you don't need to like suffer through this, because you're kind of in a bit of a dangerous spot. I would go back to my knees, get Steven's legs down closer to my waist, then work my way back up to standing, and then execute, you know, your favorite version of a standing guard break. I don't know what your intentions are here when you start walking around. You're kind of leaving your legs very open for Steven to switch. He's kind enough not to, or you had his arm under control. But yeah, I want you to make your focus breaking that guard open rather than maybe trying any sneaky bullshit you saw, you know, on YouTube or something like that. So many bodies. Yeah, chat, help us out. If we miss something, speak up. Because we're definitely missing stuff. I'm not missing this mounted triangle on Austin, though. But we don't need to review that. So, Sean, let's see how you handle the standing guard break. So he's going for more of a log splitter. Gets it open.
Straight into the legs.
But doesn't have the leg fully isolated. Okay. Caleb did a good job of preventing that. Oh, look at you getting fancy with your cross ashi entrance on Brooke.
Yeah, it was fun to try and topple her over from this position.
Let's see how you got there. So, did one of you tap?
No, I don't think so. We just got into,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So she's leading with her knee.
Yep.
You managed to get your top leg in.
Yep. And then I'm trying to reach as far as I can to secure the other leg. But she sprawled out so much, I don't remember if I was able to get it. So I'm inverting. Like, I'm just using my other leg to invert. And then I'm able to turn her over. And then my focus goes to the other leg for double trouble, right? The control leg.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows exactly what I'm trying to do. So she does a really good job of trying to hide that leg from me.
At class yesterday, we went over a bit more in depth on the concept of hiding your heel, as well as strictly looking at cross-ashi entrances and escapes. So a day early for this footage, or a day later for this footage, but
yes, I mean she's not hiding her heel as much, but she is. If you'll see, she's keeping her left leg away from me.
right.
And now I'm just opting. So she's focused so much on this is what I love about leg attacks too, right? Is that you've got two of them, and anytime that I've got one leg, I can generally have access to the other leg. So what I'm doing here is she's focused so much on that other secondary leg. She knows that's how you have to escape. So then I just switch to attacking the primary leg.
Yeah, and you also, because of her backstepping here, you're now in an outside ashi, not that cross ashi garami.
Yep.
Which, if you guys were at class last Tuesday, not yesterday, but the one prior, we talked about how really just rotating around the leg and putting your legs in different configurations is what strings together all of these variations of leg entanglements. So you just kind of saw an example of it there. Mike didn't necessarily force the change. It was more from Brooks' escape and his adaptation to that. But you see, he didn't have to move. He just kind of spun around the leg and ended up in a different position.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm in a 50-50 heel hooking position. No, you're fine.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember if I got it. Yep.
In fact, let's look at that transition. So, so you guys, yeah, you rolled to you have an outside triangle, but you're in 50-50 because that leg is across the center line.
That's right.
I want to go back a bit before we get too far into this. A lot of action. Let's take a look at Caleb. So, Caleb and Sean coming out of that attack on the leg, on Caleb's leg. Caleb gets the top position. So Sean switches to play De La Riva, which Caleb just is digging more and more these days because he really loves hitting these knee bars. Let's look at that entrance, how we could tighten it up. So now Sean has put his leg in a vulnerable spot for the knee bar. Caleb, grip wise, one thing you could try here is this arm just immediately grabbing the heel, and not even like you don't need a thumb grip. You just kind of cup the bottom of the heel, pull it up, and put it in your pocket. Leave your free hand, don't grab at the calf or near the other hand. You can reach back and post on his knee, because his prevention of the knee bar here is extracting that leg and pulling that knee back. So if you can block the knee with your other hand, with your right hand in this case, you can stymie his efforts to pull his knee out as you take your back step and then lower your level past the knee. So you could see here both of your grips are on his ankle, and that's at this point he's gotten his knee out the back. So you've got to really lower your level and recover a lot of ground here. It's not impossible. I think you end up exposing it, but just to make it a little bit easier on yourself, so he does end up getting out of that. Try to prevent him from pulling that knee out, and then, damn,
Yeah,
half
down.
Boston Crab there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even notice we're missing Matt and Daniel going at it, but they're mostly behind the pillar, unfortunately.
So with Austin, while we're talking leg locks, let's see how I got. I have him in a cross ashi as well. Let's see how I got there. Okay, so I opted for the
Cross.
yeah, just sitting around. I'm in this top half control, top half guard. His knees are pointing away from me. I'm like pinning the knee, which isn't the ideal setup for this. You know, I'd like to have his knees pointing towards me, which at this point they are. I make my switch. I'm a little loose on the leg grip here. I'd prefer to have my elbow all the way into his knee, but with his hips up off the mat, it makes it a little bit easier for me to set up my triangle, which I do right here. Sit him back down, and then I'm same kind of thing as you with Brooke. Start to work that double trouble position, and then I never quite get this, so I just decided to try it. But you could tell I've crossed his far leg, what I'll call the secondary leg, because it's not the one I've tangled up. Crossed it over my center line and like pulled it back in and tucked it in. So essentially his legs are crossed and my body's right up the middle. This used to be like, I think at the advent of like the modern leg locking game in jiu-jitsu, that I think some play like maybe 10th Planet or somebody else called it like the game over position, because it makes it extremely difficult to turn out, back when like Running Man escapes were everybody's go-to. So just to explain that for anybody who's not following, if Austin tries to turn this way, he can't. It's been shut down. If he tries to turn this way, he exposes the heel that I want, which is that heel. So it puts him in a really, really bad spot. So now you could see we've started to turn that way, probably just because of body weight and positioning. He's not even trying to like turn hard in that direction. But you could see just how much heel exposure I have in crossing his legs over and falling that way. So with the heel exposure, I set up my inside heel hook. I should have my elbow down a bit. That's kind of flared out, not looking ideal. And then as he turns, it ends up switching to a knee bar.
Knee.
And I've got my pushing hand and I got my pulling hand working on that finish. And I got my hard plastic cup digging into his knee as well. And that's my secret to winning. It's all about the cup. Which I'm pretty sure that's what Austin is saying to me right now. Sean, what's up here? Good, heavy on the head.
He uses it as a distraction so he can work around the back. That was nice.
And also shout out to Pat, who I'm pretty sure has just been utterly controlling Danny from mount this entire time.
I think that's Duncan.
Or is it Duncan? Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Danny's down at the bottom with Camden.
Oh, off screen, gotcha.
Oh, hang on.
No,
That looks actually like Steven.
That's Duncan.
No, it's Duncan. Where's Steven? I thought Steven was.
Who cares? Steven's right
He's
here.
at the top.
Yeah.
That's right. He's with Brandon. Okay.
God, we're only
Thought I
like
saw the
2
rash
rounds
guard.
in.
Yeah.
All right, let's speed it back up again. And I wasn't mad at Duncan there using that leg pendulum to try to get Pat off balance.
No, it's good.
Yeah, like I think what you'll get out of doing that is getting him to base out, maybe, you know, creating a bit of space with his legs. We've talked, you and I both have talked about how when Pat wants to clamp with his legs, it's going to be really hard to open that up. So using an alternative means, you know, sometimes it's not as easy as opening the legs up or his weight the whole round. Yeah, I mean, that fucking happens to me all the time, man. But yeah, even when that does happen, like, you know, I think I've told a lot of you guys, especially at white belt, you know, about the small wins that you have to look at. And Pat's been training a long time, and he's bigger than you. And if you made it damn near impossible for him to get a sub on you, that's something to hang your hat on at the end of a round like that. Obviously, work on your mount escapes and whatnot. You know what to work on from there, but it's a good thing when that happens, if you can prevent escapes. Were you trying to set up the Pendejo guard on Sean there?
Yep. I was trying to set it up all night.
Yeah. I haven't played with that at all. Now I'm kind of curious about it.
It was an interesting one. I mean, I don't know. I still gotta play with it. That was a pretty tight shoulder crunch that I had on him. He, like, as soon as I got it, I felt his shoulder like kind of go down. So I was like, yeah, okay, we'll just go right over top. Yeah.
Danny working cross ashi on Caleb now. How'd he get there? Almost. Okay, so Danny's leg is on the outside. He doesn't have a leg isolated just yet, which Caleb takes advantage of.
But then Danny goes back
into 50-50.
50-50. Huh.
Damn,
Nice.
son.
Inside heel hook? Yep.
Yeah. Danny's learning leg locks now.
Oh, damn.
Great.
What's up, Deathcore?
What's going on, man? Good to see you, bud.
What did Austin take Kurt down with?
Double guard pull. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got there.
He had a mat return, but I don't know how he got that duck under. Or off a Russian tie. Yep. And then just controlling the wrist. And
That was sick, Austin.
yeah, it was good.
Real nice. I'm really digging that takedown too. Like, I always, when I got back here, I focused a lot on just like this foot tripping that foot and trying to like sling him down. And then Mitch showed me, he's like, just sit through behind. And I'm like, so much easier. I mean, Austin's 85 pounds. Kurt's like 275.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
I'm bad with that. If you're bigger than me, you're just big. And if you're smaller than me, you're just small. 85 pounds with some quarters in my pocket. That ain't a roll of quarters. Austin, don't forget, like, I know you're normally pretty solid with your lower body back control, like you're getting your body triangle and everything. Okay, I was just gonna say, I guess I missed it. Like, working this, it's called a high ball ride, where you're not in like, you don't have like a scorpion lock like you would with trying to set up a crossbody ride or anything like that. But think about, if you're going to work this position where you just have the one leg tied up, in this case, it doesn't look like it, but really like you're isolating the bottom leg. Try to get his top hip out of the picture. And you could do that by, before you set up and get too committed on this, use your knee down underneath his butt to kind of bump him, all these arrows, bump him this way with your leg, or at the same time move yourself down as well. Like if I try to set this up on Luke, I'm probably not going to move Luke very much, but I can scoop myself down, and then I could set up, you know, a really, really tight grip like Luke has been doing on all of us with the high ball ride on the bottom leg. And then you could attack from there, or you could use it, you know, bide your time, try to get back to the full grip that you want to get, if that's what you want to play. Deathcore, how you been? How's training been going? I wonder where some of our other non-student viewers have been, like Mango and Odo, all those guys that were throwing questions at us.
Hopefully they're still training.
Yeah, not getting injured in skateboard accidents. How'd you get on Sean's back here?
I don't remember, to be quite honest. So I passed his guard. Oh, yep.
Came around from that like dorsal position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was gonna attack the arm, and he pressured back into me. He didn't want me to take the arm, so when he did that, I snuck around to the back.
Yeah. What's up, Cody?
What's up, man? And then we're just doing the hand fight, right? Like what we've discussed all back.
Looks like you got a mandible on him.
Yep.
Danny looking vicious. I love that grip.
100% grip, isn't that what that is?
Similar. I think you could call it that.
Yeah, man. Moving takes up a ton of time.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll tank your training ambitions for sure. Hopefully it's going smoothly. I mean, hell, you and I haven't moved in a while, but even just this summer,
right.
Enough has been happening to like jack up training time and the stream and everything.
Oh yeah. It doesn't really take much.
No. Caleb. Nasty. Danny makes a little space, stands back up. This is what I'm talking about with what I was saying with Camden earlier. Like the way Caleb's he's controlling this close the close range sort of fight here. Even let's see what he does. So he doesn't even get a real deep underhook on this, but he's got Danny. Actually, Danny's arm might be across just because of Danny, but Caleb certainly isn't gonna let him have that back. But he's sensing these opportunities faster and faster, and capitalizing on them. That was great, man. Austin, let's see if you could dig this triangle out, man.
How did Cole get on top of Matt?
He asked nicely, probably.
Oh damn! Look at that.
Let's turn the chat off.
That was
real
nice.
quick.
So he snuck out the back. From this Kesa position, he sneaks his left arm underneath, gives him a nice like shoulder bump, I'll call it, with a high underhook.
And then as Matt pressures back in,
He rolls him over. So he
Alright.
grabs the far lat here, and then he pulls him. Yep. So Matt like overcommitted basically to that crossface.
nice, very nice.
That was slick, Cole.
Oh, working the double unders. I'm curious if he and Matt were talking about that. Like that's, I've really been looking for that a lot more, rather than just like the one arm.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just I like that position a lot, and I think Matt and I were talking about that a few weeks ago. Because I know he likes to set up his S mount. So getting like those double unders, getting the arms, up over the head or whatever, makes an S mount just like completely debilitating. Let's see how he handles getting Cole off of him.
Cole's really attacking that arm. He's trying to go for that arm triangle.
Damn.
Damn,
Nice, you
that
wrote
was-
it out.
That was really awesome. That was a good match.
Couldn't get it in time. Oh, the triangle, yeah. When Kurt doesn't want his posture broken down, it's pretty hard to break down. For as much trouble as his back has given him through the years, it's still pretty strong. Pat and Cole have had some great matches lately.
This one was really good.
Strong collar ties.
I trained with Pat one night. Hell, it might have been this night. I can't remember anymore. But we went 6 minutes just standing, just trying to take each other down. Neither one of us would relent in terms of giving any sort of advantage.
Yeah. Nice. I've seen you do that in competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pat's in a decent spot if he can get Cole's heels to his own butt. But that's, I mean, easier said than done with Cole. Yeah, pressuring into his chest, pinning him on his back. Like he's setting up, the foundations of a body lock pass here. Cole's making it very difficult. Nice, stepping around. Going to have to either high step over that leg or pin it.
I'm stepping over, trying to get the knee past, and he's switching his head, which is good. But I think Cole's knee is still... There it is. Now he's got that. Cole senses it, and he's starting to heist up.
Mm-hmm.
So now Cole, from his side, he should be reaching back, grabbing the head, and forcing it onto the side that Pat's trying to pass on to. Pat does a good job and continues to pressure in.
It looked like Cole was grabbing in on a Kimura there.
He
But
was.
I think he just has a... Like, I don't think he has the wrist grip. Like, he actually just has like a...
Just the top arm.
Yeah.
And the Kimura is hard to pull off, like, when Pat has a strong elbow to hip connection.
Okay, he was going for the Kimura.
Yep. But yeah, like so Pat's using his right elbow very wisely here to connect his elbow to Cole's hip and pull him in, and that makes it very difficult to finish that Kimura trap.
Yeah. Good good timing and use of his energy on Cole's part. Sensing when he could get out here. I don't know if maybe Pat gave him enough space, or if Pat made too much space, or if Cole made it himself.
He's got a good deep underhook here. I think that was actually that was good technique, right? Like,
absolutely.
He snuck it underneath. He's got a very deep underhook. And now with his right elbow down, his left elbow and hand can shoot up to the sky and give that strong underhook throw.
Yeah, so he gives a nice hard bridge, gets out the side here, continues around the back. That was solid. Really, really good escape. Almost. You're so strong, Cole.
So you've got the arm trap or the leg trap, whatever, however you want to think about it, on Kurt here.
Yeah.
You wind up getting it. You got it.
Yeah, let's look at the progression. Let me go a little further back. So he had my leg trapped here, like my foot's totally caught. So I just said, all right, you're kind of forcing my hand. I'll go through and take your back. Get my knee up nice and high behind him. And I've lately been trying to immediately bug the head in an effort to like win the hand fight battle. I may not do it here quite as much, but
well, you dug straight in underneath the chin. You just had it in combination with.
Yeah. Let's see, there's like a million things I'm looking at all at once here.
So you did a cross. You had the straight jacket essentially.
Yeah. So
almost.
Yeah, bottom side control hand, controlling his top side arm, leg trapping the top side arm, and notice pulling my knee up. I'm leading with my knee, not just trying to like swing my ankle over. I pull my knee up as high as I can. That helps me get to where I need to be, which is like my heel. Ideally, I'd like to have my heel into his wrist, but my legs are short. Kurt's a bigger guy, bigger than me. So I'll take what I can get. I'll dig in on his elbow and then try to keep it down here. I'm crossing my ankles because I don't always have the easiest time retaining that arm when I try to like dig it behind the back. But once I get that arm under control, you could tell my focus immediately shifts to the, his primary defensive hand here, the one that's blocking my strangle arm. So I get his arm. You can watch my bottom side arm pummel in, take a wrist grip, really a knuckle grip. And that frees up my strangle hand to immediately start digging on the neck. I get him turning here. I probably lead in with my thumb. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to dig in as much as I can. And you could see I'm really using my head to like push against his. My head isn't back behind him. I'm as engaged as I can be. And you'll watch my hand spider walk, like, crawling with my fingers further and further and further. To try to get my elbow, my topside elbow, to Kurt's chin, which is, I'm a little short on it here, so it's not ideal. But once I get deep enough to where I feel like I can finish it, you can see I let go of his arm with my underhook arm or my control arm for the quick switch into the finishing grip there. All the same stuff we go over during the back attack weeks. And yeah, Cole did not manage to capitalize on that back take with Pat. So good job, Pat, on the defense.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Steven getting a little wild with Austin here, doing some of that like Mitch style rolling passing.
Straight into the underhook on the cross side too, on the far side. That was nice.
It looks cool. I'll never recommend it. I don't like the complete disconnection that you have with your opponent when you do it. But sometimes it works. When it works, it looks rad and it's effective. What's that? The having someone on your back in a real fight. Like having somebody on your back, being on your back. Which position? You'll see Daniel here do that to me later, where he does like that wrestler's kind of like rolling pin that we've seen him do on a few people. I've done it before too. Like I sometimes it just feels like, I don't know, kind of like the right thing to do. Like you're free to do it. You've got like one limb in front of you, so you just roll. But I don't know. I try to look for control wherever I can. Daniel here mercifully puts me down nicely. I had my back on Saturday and felt helpless. Yeah, that's I'm gonna spoil it for you. Even at purple belt, brown belt, probably black belt, it feels just as hopeless when Luke is on your back. Oh yeah, getting strangled with a half crucifix in. Yeah, that's everything about that is a terrifying spot, especially if strikes are allowed. I wholeheartedly agree. So I like what Sean's doing here with the pressure on the knees and the shins. Just got to get a little bit more mobile with the feet. There we go. Little flavor of it there. But you're not just gonna like slowly plod your way forward through someone's guard. So you're gonna have to really work on flanking him and getting him turning.
You can see that Steven's making grips along the way too, so it's not like he's nonchalantly or passively playing guard. He's really looking for an entrance in terms of what he can do. He's, collar tie here. He's got an ankle grip. He's got his foot pushed into the shoulder. He's got a lot of stuff that he's giving Sean right now. Think about.
Yeah. Daniel, at some point, I think he gets me in a north-south here. Can't remember if that was this day or maybe another day.
Yeah, we trained on Saturday, and I feel like we trained I trained
Saturday
with a completely different set of people on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like gave him some pause here with this triangle, but I don't think I never had like a great angle on him. Like it wasn't threatening a strangle at all. It was just right here he starts putting his weight on me like that, and then rolling through. Gave me a brief respite from getting dominated.
Meanwhile, I'm staying under Matt the entire round.
Yeah.
And then he pulls this. I was like, you got to show me that. That was really cool. So I get him into a quarter guard, and then he like nonchalantly just passes his leg over my head.
Oh, okay.
And then sits through just like that. And I was like, oh, okay.
What the hell?
Yeah, why not?
I've still been like looking for opportunities to work his grip break where you on the arm bar where you like
yes,
tie your arms up really deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Austin rolling in on a triangle against Duncan, I believe. All right. A lot going on. Let's look at Sean and Steven here. We got a leg attack from the seated standing position. Looks like Steven's just in on a straight ankle. With an interesting leg configuration. Okay, now it's getting a bit more closer to typical. It's still like he's got that bottom leg tucked. Was that a straight ankle, Steven?
The cross grip, like with a.
For you guys on Friday, if you're free. Maybe Cam. I'm normally not even rolling on Fridays, but yeah, we'd be down to catch up one of your basketball games while you're playing.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Yeah, let us know what time.
Different camera angle. Yeah, it's possible. The oh, it was a heel hook. Okay.
Was okay.
Let's go back still because there was some other stuff. Yeah, so the angle for class. Yeah, we could get different angles. Like originally, when we started this, we actually had the camera on the pillar here, and it was focused purely on like this corner. That proved to be kind of stupid. So we chose this spot, partially because you could see most of the map, but also because you could see the timer, and it makes it really easy for me to edit these rounds when I can see the screen turn red, and then just clip it where I need to clip it. We've talked about, like Luke's talked about how he has a bunch of cameras that he could try to set up. It's just a matter of like making it easy on Mike and I for like editing and all that stuff. But yeah, we also like James likes to put his camera here up by the window, which can get a good angle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, whatever. There were so many things going on here. I can't go back.
That triangle from Steven was pretty nice.
Okay, yeah, let's look at that. So it looked like Sean was trying to get that like over underpass.
Yep. As long as people don't stand in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your camera's right by the where everybody puts their water bottles, so I imagine that happens a lot. Damn, killer round. I know we missed a lot on that round, so
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it at class.
Steven and Sean are going again.
Yeah, I think as Sean was walking around for the over underpass, like he kept his head pretty low, made it really easy for Steven to like completely control the posture, and really difficult for Sean to dig himself out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make up some time here. Going from one big guy to another big guy with Caleb. Play guard. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Caleb's just being a bully.
I mean, he's doing his best to try and keep you broken down. So that's definitely good. We've been telling him to use his weight. Oh, nice. Go behind.
Yeah.
Well executed. Yeah.
Yeah, sets it up with a little like pulling me down, snapping me down, going around the back. then I think we reset because of the pillar. Nice tripod sweep from Sean.
Ooh, Danny just locked up that rear triangle on Austin.
Oh, on the side?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like way off screen.
It's right off the screen.
Yeah.
But you see him set it up right before that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm sure Austin tapped.
Later, Steven. Safe travels, man.
Have a good trip, bud. Thanks for tuning in. I need to get to, let's see, making sure we're not missing anything with Sean and Steven here. Caleb had, so Caleb, you know, spoiler alert, controls me the whole time from here. But he was digging so persistently on my far side arm for, I don't know if it was, Caleb, you were the one doing it. You probably remember better than I do. I'm not sure if he was digging for an Americana or just like trying to use it to set up other stuff. But the level of control that he was exerting over my shoulders was really impressive. I had to compliment him pretty highly on that. Like, it's so easy to get overextended, to commit yourself too far to trying to isolate a limb, and you end up getting swept or creating too much space or anything like that. So it was a great example of him. I mean, like right here, you can see he's really, really digging hard, trying to get that my left arm out, but making it damn near impossible for me to turn and like get off my back. He was keeping me really well pinned. And then I kick him in the face there by accident. Oh, another triangle on Sean. So let's see why Sean's getting caught here.
Yep, he's going under. He's trying to go for that over under pass.
Yeah, that or even there, like his arm didn't look engaged with like a scoop grip, like an underhook grip. He just got caught slipping, I think. Steven recognized it. Oh, what do you do to, or Steven gets a nice leg exposure on or no, that is you. My bad.
That's me.
Little shin to shin action.
Yeah, I just pull him into me, elevate, and I actually go for the other leg.
Nice heavy reap.
Hell yeah. And here he does like a really good job. I thought I was gonna have a cross ashi entrance. He does a really good job of pummeling his legs around so that I'm not able to get to it.
Yeah, that was impressive. Sean coming up quick on that guillotine. Okay, yeah, he couldn't get his legs to a better position to secure that.
There, Kurt gave me he lost the leg pummeling battle. So simple elevation here. I pummel in. I'm using my left leg to elevate, and then I use my right leg to straighten out and come back behind that leg, and then I sit him down from here into cross ashi. Boom.
Really classic seated cross ashi entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and simple.
He would not tap to this.
Never does.
Never does. So I can't remember. I think I did the Passover too, maybe. Like you were talking about. Like, yeah, Yeah, so I'm going straight inside heel hook.
I mean, like that's like the worst possible position for him. Like your hips are
Yeah.
elevated, you're deep on the heel.
Mm-hmm. And I started feeling like I was gonna break his leg.
I hate all
Here.
of you. Before open mat, actually I think it was the end of advanced class. Kurt and I were both down, and I think someone else was down, and we were just doing like everybody jump in and try to, go into 50-50 and try to break each other. Oh yeah, and he starts going for his toe hold on you. And like the amount of our students who like weren't tapping when I thought they should be tapping. I know it's not my legs and my knee that's in trouble. But like Brooke would not tap to anything. Johnny wasn't I'm like, I can't continue to crank on your guys' legs.
Yep.
I'm like, go ahead, counter me.
I let go of that one because I was like feeling so much tension.
Yeah.
This one I 100%, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna break your leg. Like there's
Yeah, just another 50-50 attack.
It was 50-50, but notice how I dove over with my right arm.
Yeah.
So I had heel exposure. I dive over with my right arm, and I lock up the reverse rear naked choke grip.
Yep.
I touch my ear, and then I just hip in, and it was a nasty one.
He knew it.
He did.
Austin's talking shit to me while I'm arm barring him.
And Luke is over here. He was watching that night.
Yeah.
And I was like making eye contact, like we're gonna have to send somebody to the hospital.
Leg week always worries me every time it comes around. Nice try, Sean.
Nice play. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, the only what could have rescued this was instead of like look at your left arm position. So right here you have an underhook with your right. If you took an overhook with the left, you may have been able to turn that into like just a standard butterfly sweep. Cole, it would be hard because Cole's pretty elevated there, and you had both legs in. He may have just been able to stuff it no matter what.
What I find interesting, and again, like we trained with a certain somebody in Ohio, and just watching a high level grappler throwing people overhead, left and right, literally with one leg or the other, really inspired me with these types of sweeps, right? And the sumigeshis, right? Because like we're always taught classically like over, under, sweep over, right? Sweep over the shoulder, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but you got somebody like this who's on top of you dominating. You want to disrupt the game or throw something at them, toss them. So like I guess what I'm saying is like don't be scared to continue the throw, right? And continue to take them overhead. And don't get stuck into the mindset of I have to take him over to the side. I have to take him over the shoulder directly.
Yeah.
It's like just fling them,
Yeah. Yeah, especially Cole.
Yeah.
Make him feel light.
He's lost a lot of weight.
He has. Austin with a super deep reap on me here, which I'm not mad about.
Oh yeah.
Almost coming up for the calf slicer. Now it's just a matter of pummeling my leg free. I could have looked way sloppy. He was definitely controlling me there, but he's not now. And that's all that really matters. Look at Steven trying so hard to wrist lock Caleb.
Whoa.
All right, what happened? What just happened?
He just
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So not much of a strangle threat, just because an arm is out, but now Cole's gonna have a harder time advancing. So Austin, the question is that reaping? It's reaping if the knee position is affected. So you might be able to get away with that. Since I started to turn into it, it's an important thing to consider. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I'd call that reaping, since your foot is not in front of my body. It's not like over my hip. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like right here. Yeah, I think since I turned away from you, if I was a ref, I don't think I'd call that reaping. Yeah, you're just in on a calf slicer attempt at that point. Good question. Cole's been wearing that back take gift wrap, very effective, easy to add to. Yeah, I absolutely love. I mean, that's like when I'm playing mount on you guys. I think all of you know my arm triangle is garbage. Mounted Americanas, I think, are pointless. So like anytime I isolate the arm like that, that's what I'm always looking for. I love the gift wrap to the back take.
That's right. Me and Steven trained.
Get to watch Brooke run away from me for 6 minutes. So when we were doing that leg battling during advanced class, and Brooke wouldn't tap, I eventually just basically gave her a pity tap. Like I was like, go ahead, take my ankle, and I tapped because I was like, let's end this round. So I had to make it up to her and actually give her a decent leg lock battle. Immediately after I tapped, I was like, that was a shitty thing for me to do. So you're trying to.
So, watch this. Steven gets like he got upset. He was like, "Fuck you, Mike." It was awesome. He felt it coming, and then he just didn't know what to do. Or I mean, he knew what to do. He just extracted and reset.
I think these days I like frustrating Steven more than I even like tapping him.
Uh-huh.
Tapping him is getting harder and harder. Frustrating him is a close second.
No kidding. I can't remember if how this ended, to be honest with you, like how this roll ended. All I do know is that he kept trying to set me up in this like De La Hiva position. I was like, nope, that ain't happening. Fool me once.
So Brooke and I are having an interesting battle here. See a good place to watch it. So here I'm on like an outside. So I've got I'm 50-50 with her. Trying to dig on my inside heel hook because I just prefer those to outside heel hooks. You know, a lot of hand fighting, whatever. Where is it at? So I step over in an attempt to force a roll and change my position to like a cross ashi instead of 50-50. So you see oh my god, really trying to, there we go, really trying to force the roll here. And no, I'm gripping as much as I can, trying to like prevent her from slipping the knee.
Yep.
My bottom leg, for instance, which she's controlling or has a grip on my foot, I'm trying to block her knee from pulling out, which I managed to do. It's not easy at all. And even there, she initiates the roll. Like, that's where I've really got to pay attention to her knee slipping out. And you could see, like, I've got my left hand gripping up at her thigh. At this point, yeah, at this point, I'm not even concerned with getting the break. I don't have the heel isolated. It's just, all right, I've got a good leg position. Not necessarily great. Let me keep this and try to advance it without her escaping. We go through another round of rolling. I'm just smashing my face into the mat. Crossing, I'm trying to keep... What was that?
Then you pass back to 50-50.
Yeah, crossing the leg over. When you get a bend in the leg, it's just another way to make it that much more difficult for them to pull their knee out. So that's where it can really come in handy. Again, I still don't have the heel isolated. I think I'm trying to dig it out here by grabbing the toes. Now I'm into a backside 50-50. So there's just this constant switching of leg positions. That was a little sketchy on her part. Because here, let's see. So I've got heel exposure here. I have my grip set up. She's turning into the break, which it's a pretty dangerous thing to do. I don't think she would have done it if she felt like her knee was about to break. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe she felt like she could slip it. Roland, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, the way that she really committed to that could have ended badly. Yeah.
So something to keep in mind as you guys are doing this. I know when someone has my heel isolated. I could feel Mike's forearm behind my heel, and I know all of a sudden I have one less option for ways that I can roll. So try to feel for that. See what that's like. Try not to commit too hard to that. So now we're in a 50-50. I have full heel exposure on the knee. I think she knows it at this point. She taps. But yeah, it was a real dogfight through that whole process. And again, calling back to the class I did a week ago, all those different Ashi configurations happened with just her rotating around, right? Her rotating, me taking the same leg, switching it from one side to the other, back to the other, back again, and just exposing it in different ways. So that was a fun takedown. I just want you guys just to see how many like different forms of Ashigarami you can roll through in attempting to attack just one leg. And then something I hope would make Coach Mike proud. She started cutting her angle on me, which I was afraid would lead to some either a back take. You could see she's pressuring on my tricep here, maybe a duck under, or even a hair goshi or something. So with my top hand in position where it is, and I have I think her tricep under control, I do a sit through. What are they called? Damn, there's a name for these. I can't remember it now. But I'm just pulling her down like you would try to wrestle a bull to the ground, purely by the head and the horns, and taking it out that way. You have to stay super tight on the head and neck and arm when you get there, so she can't slip out the back, which she tries to do. So I hold on until I can get back to establish the side control.
We went over that a few Tuesdays ago with Coach Mike and Caleb.
Yeah, there. I think it's called a head pinch or something like that. I forgot the term wrestlers use for it. Steven on his Kimura attempt with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he baits the guard pass and then immediately goes into the Kimura.
And then Sean's doing a good job staying nimble here. I don't know if... I'm sure there's a bit of sweat involved, but just recognizing the opportunity to knee cut.
He does have a very good knee cut.
Yeah.
Um, he pulled that off on me in our earlier round.
With Brooke. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like when you go to wrestle up with him or to hook that far, like the knee cutting leg,
Yeah.
he does a very good job of just driving through and committing to the knee cut pass.
Yeah. With Brooke, so I end up taking her back. Get misaligned here, and I try to stay on the arm for the arm bar. So I'm over her head right now. Like her arm is isolated, but it's kind of hidden. Like I haven't. Oh no, wait. There I pull it away. She rolls through, and just again wouldn't tap here because she's stubborn and bendy. And like right there, I'm yelling, like, "Come on! Like, please, why aren't you tapping?" With a significant bend in her arm. But excellent job of her rolling out of that. Oh, Steven totally took advantage of that sweaty floor there.
Yeah.
Cause I was gonna say you're doing a killer job of just like of moving, right? Like just stepping a lot. Then your foot slips right out.
Dude, it was so sweaty. Like you see that just well, I mean everybody, right? Like
Yeah.
just that general area. Did I wind up getting this one? I think I did.
Right at the bell.
Nope. Oh, that one felt tight too. That's right.
Oh yeah, Danny and I rolled. Austin, nice. Was that from? I can't remember if we did that takedown during this class or if we did it another time this week, but good use of that. Danny's been just a pit bull lately.
I haven't trained with him in a while.
Don't. It's not fun anymore. Those killer leg attacks from him earlier in the night, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. It's your problem, dude. Even if you can't make it to class, we appreciate you tuning in here and bringing in good questions to training like you always do. So it's all good, homie.
Agreed.
Yeah, this night in particular, I mean, like, I feel like there are some nights where, you know, everyone who shows out just completely decides to bring their A game. And, like, everybody on footage tonight, at least everyone I rolled with, I didn't even get to roll with everybody. Just really, really, like, market improvements in everybody's game. That's really awesome to see you guys progressing as quickly as you do. Steven, I think, is that Steven working with Cole?
Yes.
Let's watch this. So Steven's working his close guard right now. Working the overhook.
Straight into that arm. He went to the arm, but then he goes back to the triangle.
And it wouldn't have necessarily been an arm bar either, right? Because he had, like, look at the position. He had an overhook. Like, he's attacking the wrong arm for the armbar from that side, but it gets Cole moving, which sets like I don't think Steven would have had a decent arm attack unless he switched to like an omoplata.
There's something that Lachlan Giles calls the Choi bar, the Choi bar, that you can attack that way.
Huh.
And I don't know if that's what Steven was going for, but there is a submission. Think of it as like a straight arm lock, but in your legs are hiked over the neck and the back.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you're on top and then coming down with a straight arm lock.
I think I know what you
think
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have had to get Cole's arm out from there. Like, I think Cole's hand was in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise it could have been there. Yeah, man, Danny's, you're right, Joe. He's changed. He's so much more violent. That's, if I could toot our school's horn for a bit, like, it's one thing I've loved about how this group has grown and like how we operate is that like we don't do belt tests and stuff like that because we all roll with each other. All the coaches roll with all the students, and just again, feeling how much you guys improve, like that gives us a better indicator of where you are than any sort of test that we could throw at you. And when Danny's just massacring me the whole round, and we look back at footage from 3 months ago or 6 months ago, and it was, not the same aggression, not the same moves. We saw Danny nail a beautiful inside heel hook earlier. Like, there's no better indicator of progress than what we see here. See Austin's super complicated back take.
Nice.
Yeah, I know Brandon's, fresh into jiu-jitsu, but like Austin, for you, probably a great training partner to work on, some of your offensive tactics. Even though you're highly successful with your triangle and stuff with a lot of people, it's always good to practice new offensive techniques on some of those a little less experienced than you. You'll get your practice of your defense against those more experienced than you, and then you can kind of test yourself on those around your experience level. So we're not picking on you, Brandon, but that's kind of just the way the hierarchy works.
Yeah. You'll be there soon enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Danny had. So I really like this setup. He dug so hard, just like Caleb was doing earlier. He dug super hard for my elbow on the far side, gets my elbow up above my shoulder line, and sets up an Americana. The thing is, I didn't feel the threat of the Americana because my elbow is, it's in front of me. It's not flared out. But Danny doesn't care about that. He wasn't even going for the Americana. He uses that to set up his katagatame, or his arm triangle, which he does really successfully here. Oh, kind of successfully, right? Like look how high he's hiking my elbow up and my hand behind my back. If that was my left arm, I would have screamed. But I still have some flexibility in my right. But he gets here. The only way I was able to save myself from tapping here, because Danny's super deep on this side, on the shoulder side, is on the left side. I want to see if you can find it. You can barely see it, but I was able to early on set a little V post in his armpit to keep his bicep from connecting to my neck. Danny didn't have to dismount. Like if I didn't have that little post, this absolutely would have been a strangle from anywhere. He ends up doing it and really gets a crank on. There was no way I was pulling my head out, but I was just managing to keep myself safe there. And he said to me, I'm gonna fight this through the bell early on. So he kept trying to get it until it just didn't happen. But yeah, that is the evening. I feel like I can't say it enough. That was great footage. You guys killed it. really makes us proud every time you guys get closer to murdering us or just hold us down for a round. It's always good to feel. Yeah, anything from you, man?
Nah, it's good, man. All the days are getting harder, which is nice.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Austin. Thanks, James. I'll get this one up on YouTube if you guys want to replay it. Yeah, we'll see you this weekend.
Saturday.
Or Thursday, right? Yeah, tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Cool. Cody's calling you out.
Sounds good, man.
He's taking his number at the deli right now.
Let's do it. 001.
So yeah, we'll get it on YouTube. Thanks, Deathcore. Good to talk to you, man.
Thanks, Deathcore. Later, man.
All the usual stuff. Follow, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram if you're not. Like all of our shit. It helps. Support us at coffee.com/MOBJJ. And support us by trimming your nails and doing your laundry and not showing up to class all stinky.
Ugh.
So yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys back on the mats. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.
Later.